Remy Fortier has taken game one of his semifinal.
Just took broken cards from the last couple blocks and played
Top
out
counterbalance.
Top counterbalance. Tarmogoyf.
Put my Tarmogoyf with
Jite.
There you go.
Everyone's favorite cards. What else is happening on the boards?
Looking. They too are surprised by 10-0.
We saw him take multiple games with it. It was seemed like it was very good for him.
Go to Worlds, win a car, nice. They seem happy. Making fun of me for not knowing what Thoughtseize does. I just ask questions so that everyone else could figure the answer.
Ask him what Gleemax does. He knows that.
Play the game, drive the world. Is that what we're doing this year?
I believe the car probably has some sort of monetary value too that you could probably redeem it for if you didn't want that car or a car.
I don't know how many ticks you could get for a car.
20,000.
Be a lot of trade. 32 limit.
This game seems to be shaping up a little more traditionally. No early meddling made, although he is holding one.
Yeah, neither player's really made much of an aggressive move.
Andre really doesn't need to do anything until he has a besiege you, right?
Most of the forums just seem happy that all the deck lists are up now.
I can imagine.
Soviet Terror is a little surprised to see Shuhei not running remands.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Well, Meddling Mage resolves. Name's enduring ideal.
For him, Condescend is just almost like a hard counter all the time. I mean, he's got so much more mana than his opponent.
Disenchants the Prism. Interesting.
I think that's what the Disenchants... I mean, the Disenchants obviously aren't there to do anything about the combo. So they're really there for Lotus Blooms, for upkeep. You know, just keep him off his mana. Eli Kaplan posting there in the forums. Occasional coverage fellow. Alright, Meddling Mage is down, and it's, I assume, naming Enduring Ideal?
Yep.
There's only 3 counters in all of Shuhei's deck. What do you think about control decks just like playing a very, very small suite of counter spells? Like, there's just a couple of key fights you're going to need to win.
It's not really a traditional control deck at that point, but depending on your plan, it's alright.
Right. 1 blue mana in the pool.
Alright.
Yes.
Here's a Seething Song.
Something's happening.
The time for another form of the dragon?
And 5 red. So I look into the top.
Seething Song into the top.
We'll split. Red. Yeah. Sorry. Any cards? Oh, infinite, right? Okay.
What is that? Honda to C wins.
There you go.
With enough mana to play around a condescend, too. Nice.
Yeah, he's just gonna start keeping up with Shuhei's card drawing,
Yeah.
slow but steadily.
It's true.
15.
Shuhei takes 2 to play Hollow Fountain face up. And disenchants
Go ahead.
the Honden
Sure.
pretty quickly.
Yeah. Very necessary.
So interesting. How do you decide what combo deck or what kind of, like, you have all these decks that are going to, during a deal, you have Taps, you have Dredge, you have Breakfast, you have all these decks that, if you decide that you want to play some deck that does something inherently unfair,
Right.
you know, and they all have very different turns, how do you make a decision about which deck you want to play in an event like this?
I think a lot of it comes down to
When
what's
you
it
were going to
vulnerable to.
Rome,
Sorry?
what were the decisions like when you were going to Pro Tour Rome, which had, you know,
Yeah. Well, Rome, there was essentially one deck that was insane.
which was the High Tide deck?
No.
No?
I think the Academy deck
Was
was.
the Academy deck? Weren't they that? Oh, right. All right, we've got a complete Tron for Shuhei here.
I think step number 1 is identify what the broken things are in the format.
Right.
And then step number 2 is to sort of figure out if other people know what they are, or actually more relevant than that is what tools people are going to show up with that can fight that broken thing. So with this format, there's several relatively well-defined threats. I think it's really all about what you're vulnerable to, how resilient your combo is, what do you do when other people have paid out. I think testing sideboarded is really important to solving a format like this too.
Yeah, sure.
We're splitting a factor fiction here,
Yep,
which is
a lot of land.
5 lands. Takes the bigger pile.
Quick
as
decisions take the
predicted.
bigger pile. It's an easy algorithm.
Mm, 30. Go.
He actually doesn't have the Tron. I'm
Nope.
sorry. I thought he completed it.
Oh, it's the other side.
There's 2 mines and tower, I believe. But it's plenty of mana regardless to do whatever he needs at this point.
Meddling made counter things or say they can't be played?
Says they can't be played.
You're looking at Dovescape, Orange Chant. Floating another Dovescape.
7.
Can he cast Dovescape?
I'm sure he can.
Like, what happens if he just turns this into a Dovescape game? It's the play, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's done that multiple times.
My understand. Yeah.
And we have another factor fiction.
Shuhei's gone through a ton of cards this game.
Got a Chalice, an Exalted Angel, a Signet, and 2 lands. Splits the Exalted Angel and the Chalice. Which does he least want Shuhei to have? Signet. Signet goes with Chalice.